Hey everyone, welcome back to the Soundbyte. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be jumping back into a bit of Metallica, going back to their second album, Ride the Lightning, and taking a look at the track For Whom the Bell Tolls, which is actually one of their most famous and most iconic tracks, and one of my personal favorites as well. Yeah, it's one of those songs that's still a live staple in their set list. They still play it to this day. It's one of the songs that, for whatever reason, has become an absolute fan favorite. I can see why, because that song is such a, even though it's a simplistic sort of song, um, something about it that just it's very catchy and gets the fans going, and it's heavy, and the riffs are just amazing. And of course, it has the most famous intro, one of the most famous intros that Metallica did from Mr. Cliff Burton, with the that sort of bass intro. So I thought let's get into it and check it out. The studio version of For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. Just pause it right there. You can hear Cliff slapping that bass all through the song there in the intro. A very long intro as well, which is obviously something that Metallica is kind of known for. One question I do have, let me know if you know the story behind this at all, or if you know if there's anything to it. But the bell at the very beginning of the song reminds me of Hell's Bells from AC/DC. It's very similar. Obviously, it makes sense because they're both sort of referencing bells. But I did hear a story, and I don't remember if it was this song or the AC/DC one, where apparently it wasn't a bell that they used. It was actually like some kind of iron or whatever. I forget the actual name of it now. Where they actually struck it with a hammer or something like that. It wasn't an actual bell. Please let me know if you know what I'm talking about, and if you know if it was this song or the AC/DC Hell's Bells song. Because I remember hearing about that years ago and went, oh, right, okay. Maybe it just sort of made sense because of the fact that maybe the bell just didn't sound like the kind of bell that they wanted, I guess, maybe, but hitting something that's kind of more like an iron or something like that might make more sense. But yeah, I remember hearing that story years ago and just thought, oh, okay, it's interesting, because there's always these little tricks and stuff in the studio that bands do that you kind of you always thought one way and it turns out to be another kind of thing. So there's lots of stories about that from all kinds of bands, including Metallica as well. So and yeah, and the bass intro, and then you can hear Cliff playing that sort of the bass lines and stuff. And I remember there was a live version of them playing it in 1985 at Day on the Green or something like that. I think it was. It's on the Cliff and Wall video, and you can see like Cliff literally like slapping the bass there. So Whenever I think of slapping the bass, I always think of that movie. You know the one I'm talking about, slapping the bass. Yeah, there you go.
Biggest fight on the hill in the early days. Constant chill deep inside. Shouting gun on they run through the endless fray. On they fight for the right, yes, but who's to say? For a hill men would kill, why they do not know. Sniffing wounds just the right. And I'm five still alive through the raging glow. Gone insane from the pain that they surely know. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. For whom the bell tolls. Take a look to the sky just before you die. It's the last time you will. Rock and roll, massive roar fills the crumbling sky. Shattered door fills the soul with a ruthless cry. Stranger now are his eyes to this mystery. Here's the silence so loud. Crack of dawn, all is gone except the will to be. Now they see what will be, blinded eyes to see.
Yeah, so I do wonder because I'm not a big lyric guy. It's not something that I sort of invest a lot of time into, but I do wonder now listening to this song again, what this song is actually talking about. I'm assuming, and it's always something that I've assumed that it's a reference to some war thing, because that's obviously the title sort of signifies that a little bit. But is the song actually about some kind of war thing or reference to some war event or something? Let me know if you know the story behind that. The other thing as well is that it's interesting how this song and this album is kind of chock full of these different unique sort of aspects, which makes this album quite revolutionary. Like this song has a lot of these sort of long gaps. Like you take out the vocals, and this song has a lot of long gaps of almost nothing. There's a lot of power chords that kind of not with not a lot of things happening behind it, and so the lyrics and the vocals really kind of carries this song more than a lot of the other songs on this album, and certainly looking on to other Metallica songs, there's not many songs that are like that. It's not all vocal oriented, like typical thrash metal bands, I guess. It's all very much guitar and drums, and this is one of the few songs where without the vocals, there's not a lot of stuff happening in the song. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, let me know as far as the lyrics are concerned about what this song is actually talking about. What was the inspiration? What's James Hetfield actually writing about? Because if you look into a lot of his lyrics, especially now in retrospective, there are stuff even on the earlier albums. He was really writing about more personal stuff. Even then, even on Master of Puppets, that was like sort of covered in kind of like using sort of like certain subjects and topics and stuff like that to kind of mask what he was actually really writing about. You can kind of see it; it's all kind of hidden in there. But because Hetfield even talked about this as well, like he didn't realize until looking back what he was actually writing about, because a lot of the stuff you kind of feel like, oh, it's about the prison system, or it's about war, or it's about this. But what he was really writing about was some of the stuff that he was actually going through, and some of the stuff that he went through as a child and stuff like that. So, but masking it with certain more world events, I guess you could say, is interesting. Because so I do wonder what the story is behind this song, and then can you sort of read into it and go, well, maybe he was really talking about this, because it's interesting, again, a lot of this stuff is all kind of retrospective as well. So yeah, but still, sort of just in terms of the music, the riffs and stuff is just yeah, it's an amazing track, really, but such an amazing thing because of the fact that it's so simple as well.
On the bell tolls,
There you go. Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls off their 1984 album Ride the Lightning. Obviously, an iconic album. It's one of those things as well. The album's kind of always paired up with Master of Puppets, and there's always an argument as to which one is better. And obviously, it's sort of back and forth. I personally think Master of Puppets is a better album because I kind of feel Ride the Lightning was kind of almost like the demo version for Master of Puppets. It's kind of the precursor. It was like they laid down the foundations, and that could be the argument for why it's a better album. But I kind of feel like musically and production wise and everything else, Master Puppets kind of just is superior to Ride the Lightning in every other way. I'll be honest though, it's Ride the Lightning is actually one of my least favorite Metallica albums. I know it's not very common to hear that because it tends to be, Metallica's favorite albums or fans' favorite Metallica albums, I should say, is always, down to the first 4 or 5 albums. And I kind of disagree with that. I kind of like a lot of the later stuff as well. And that's coming from someone who's been a fan for over 30 years. So it's not like I just jumped into the band when Death Magnetic came out or anything like that. I mean, I was already a full-fledged fan by that time. So I just kind of feel like Ride the Lightning just has a couple of misses here and there, and then the production is not really that great. Um, which is not obviously a strong argument to say that the album's not as good, because there's a lot of great albums out there where the production is kind of, whatever. But it does have an impact on your listening experience, I kind of feel, A perfect example of that, obviously, is Say It Anger, A lot of people say the album could be better if it just sounded better. So, so it just depends. I definitely feel like production does make a difference. I think if, like, say, for example, the Black Album sounded different, would it have as much of an impact as it did? I don't know. I don't know. So, but anyway, Ride the Lightning is just one of those, regardless, an iconic album. The artwork is, with the little electric chair. Just everything about it is just very legendary. It's one of those albums that a lot of fans have latched onto. So, anyway, there you go. That's For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. Thanks for tuning in as always. Please subscribe if you haven't, and thank you to those who have subscribed. And please check us out on our social media pages. All the links are in the description below. And I will see you in the next video.